My first 6 years of work were basically passed in multinationals. My first job was as a product manager of diapers and compresses, Arbora. I was the guy that introduced Dot and Tampax in Portugal, and I never could explain my grandfather how was it possible that after studying 15 years, 2 years in Spain, what I was doing is basically trying to convince people, women in Portugal, to use Tampax or give Dot to their children. And then from diapers, I changed to Scott Paper, and Scott Paper was basically a toilet tissue company. After that, I changed to Tetra Pak, which was a bit more respected product. We were dealing with juices and milk. Then to Compal, and then after 13 or 14 years, be chosen to lead Unicer. So those were the 3 major experiences in terms of my development. I had 2 more jobs, but very short experiences. It is always very grateful for me be able to share my feelings, the way I feel about things, my experience, with people younger, but that are starting their careers or relaunching their careers as the group of people that were here. I saw myself as one of the listeners 20 or 30 years ago, and it was also important for me, for my process of growing, be inspired and be confronted by examples that were presented to me when I was in the school, the university, on the beginning of my career. So I really hope that this lecture might be considered useful for the listeners that were here today. The first mission of a leader is to inspire your people, the people that are with you. If you really give space to the people, room to the people that work with you, to share the thoughts about what they want to do in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, I think in the end you will be able to build a vision for the company. The second thing is to transform that vision in milestones, in objectives. Just like a soccer team or a sports team. You define in the beginning of the year that you want to be the #1 in the league. If you do not have that objective, I can tell you, you will never be #1. Another very important thing is to choose your team. I have to tell you that after 25, 26 years on my job, or on my career, this is still the most difficult thing for me. If you have a good team, good people, it does not make, for me, any sense that you do not delegate. The best way to motivate people is to give them power. I really do not trust too much in companies that are completely dependent from one person. I think this is not a good example of leadership. Leadership is to choose the right people, to form a team, and to develop them, and to give them the opportunity to do mistakes. You only learn by mistakes. A mission of a leader is create the conditions to all of these things being worked and defined, and get alignment, because the power of a team, of a company, is basically in the belief that everybody can share about these visions, about these objectives, and the commitment to execute them and to make them work every day.
The way that a company is led and the way that people looks at the leaders makes all the difference on the productiveness of the company and the way that the successes are building, and in the end in the success of the whole country. So it is really important to know how to lead people and companies. With the session about leadership and with such an experienced person, I was looking for inspiration and sharing of experience that it's difficult for us to have in classes. So a person with so much greater experience would brought us, and it was the case.
When you have a lot of opportunities, you grow every year 10, 15, 20%. Well, it's much more easy to be democratic. It's much more easy to allow participation of everybody. You have opportunities to everybody, but you have also to be prepared to periods of stagnation. And if you are a professional person, you have to be prepared to motivate people, to motivate yourself to every situation. It's very dangerous to sell to your team and to your people dreams that are totally unrealistic to achieve. Another very important thing is to be the first one to be close to a situation when there is a big problem. When we have to close a factory, you cannot do that by sending an email or asking your human resources director to contact the people or spreading a rumor in the newspapers. When I arrived to Unicer, some months after, it was clear that we had to shut a factory, beer factory in Algarve. We asked everybody to meet us in a meeting in a room like this, and it was me that have to speak to the people and to explain to the people eye to eye why that factory had to be closed and what were the options, the personal options for each of the persons that were there. People did not like the decision, but in the end they trust that the decision was the right one, because otherwise I would not be there to express myself and explain the decision directly to them. If you really want to be respected, be on the front line when the war is difficult.
I have the opportunity to listen to a very compelling person as António Pires de Lima is. It's another way to have our knowledge stronger than before. One of the points that forced me to come to the Lisbon MBA was actually this point, the leadership, because I believe that to be a good manager, we must be a good leader. And being a leader to be a good leader is not an easy thing to achieve, because we have to conquer that stage and not to impose the leadership. So it's one of the points that I believe that the Lisbon MBA is going to shape in myself. It's the way to be a good leader.
Leadership is basically to listen. People that work with you, people that are close to the operations, that are close to the field, close to the street, usually know much better how to execute things than yourself. I think it's a bit of all these conditions: example, fairness, courage, be on the side, be generous when the situations are difficult, know how to listen, trust, choose, fire, is all these kind of conditions, and also humanity, and people feel that you are human as they are, that allow you to be recognized as a leader and gives you what some people call the charisma. Really, charisma does not work if they are not accompanied by this kind of competences, skills, sensitivities that for me are crucial in order to trust someone.